All the wellness. This is Wellness Week number what?
103.
Oh my God, 103. Well, there's been 103 of them. Thank God there's more than one per year, Joe. Because we've been to every one of them.
Every single one.
So if you are
years.
in the area, come on down. We're live at 2419 Baldwick Road. Do you need to be a patient?
You don't need to be anything but alive.
Well, if that's the case, come on down. You're fitting great with this crew. We're having a lot of fun. But no, we got some new smoothies right here. This is chocolate peanut butter cup.
So cheers.
Luke, how we doing? Joe's got his own.
Joe's. What do you have?
Hey, hold on a minute.
Hey.
Yours is smaller. What is that?
Oh, this is something the world's been waiting for. Liquid SPM. And you know what? You know why the world's been waiting for it?
No.
Because there's not another one like it. It's the first one ever.
Wow.
In the world. Liquid.
First one in the world.
SPM.
I always want to be first in the world in something. So what does SPM even mean?
All right. So that stands for Specialized Pro-Resolving Mediators. Pro-resolving mediators are this magic little compound that can get in and take care of systemic inflammation. The inflammation you don't see, you'll probably feel it eventually, but it's running through your body. And regular anti-inflammatories just don't get the job done.
And you have spoons. Do you have samples?
We're going to sample it.
Oh, okay.
Right now?
Might as well.
All right. Well, I was saying that one of the things that I do to manage inflammation and to give me some good recovery on the tennis court is I take SPM every day. So I'm really excited to try the liquid
SPM. And welcome.
SPM.
It's not a special guest anymore, but the co-host.
Right.
The birthday girl this week.
Uh-oh.
Here we
Is
go.
it me?
Allow me to administer.
Oh gosh.
Here we go.
It actually really tastes good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so tasty too.
It's citrusy.
It's so tasty too.
Vitamin
Vitamin Benjamin. Yeah.
It actually is. I mean, to take it off the spoon, like I think I would probably put it in a shake. Because one of the things that I do.
That's the great thing. It's
because that's
versatile.
like citrusy orange.
Yeah.
It's got a really nice orange flavor to it. And so one of the things that I use for tennis, also like when I'm out on the court, is our Orange Power Fuel.
Right.
With our Pro Oranges and my Vanilla Super Shake,
There
and I'm
you
going to
go.
throw the SPM in
That
there.
fits perfectly.
I think I have a new shake.
Your secret weapon?
My
perfect.
secret weapon.
The orange
Absolutely.
dreamsicle. And I want to know what her secret weapon is, Joe, because I found out she just celebrated a big birthday. And lo and behold, even though we graduated from the class of 86,
We did.
I found out she's only 41 years old.
I know. Isn't that exciting?
The
You know,
real age.
The old chronological versus
Yes,
actual age.
the real
Philly
age.
Phil, did you know that?
The biological age.
641.
I know it. I know
So
it.
let's hear about this because I know you're proud of it and you should be. You're glowing today, isn't she,
I
Joe?
am glowing
Glowing.
today. It must be the liquid SPM.
Wait, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm not going to take another one. Okay, that's good. You're going to have another. Perfect. So how did I do this? So recently, I have been doing our lifestyle program, right? Living the lifestyle, better nutrition, making sure I use the right nutraceuticals based on what's going on with my body. I play tennis. That's my sport. I do some yoga. I certainly meditate every day and pray every day. So I really try and touch on mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual wellness, really all of it. And so I went for a checkup at one of our cool healthcare professionals in Tampa, Florida. A little shout out to my friend, Jacqueline Shedden. And I got on this scale and I never remember the name of the scale. What's it called?
It's called the InBody.
The InBody. I don't know why that doesn't stick in my head. Probably because I don't care what it was.
What's in your body?
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So it's the scale. And first of all, no woman wants to get on a scale. Okay. You dread it. So, you're taking the shoes off, the belt off, the
First thing in the
jewelry,
morning, right?
all
Yeah.
that stuff. And you always weigh yourself first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Well,
Every ounce
Even
counts.
guys
Yeah.
do that too.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
All right. So
Joe takes off his
Everything.
glasses are off, right?
That's why I got these lightweight, featherweight.
There
ones.
we go.
Yeah.
So I had an appointment in the afternoon. So my first win was getting on the scale and seeing that I weighed exactly the same in the afternoon that I did in the
Exactly.
morning.
What number is that? Exactly the same.
Exactly the same is all you need to know.
We-
Okay,
we
it was
like-
exactly
we
the
like
same.
exactly the same. Thank God, Joe.
All right.
Need to know basis.
That was the first win. Then the second win, well, basically, the scale tells you everything like your hydration, what percentage of your weight is body fat versus how much of your body weight is muscle versus visceral fat, like all this stuff, hydration, everything. So the nurse says to me, oh, wow, nobody ever gets this reading. I'm like, oh, shit, is that a good thing?
Hey, now, what's really
I was
good or
like,
really bad, Joe?
Yeah. So it said standard physique. I'm like, well, what the heck does that mean? And she said, oh, my gosh, that means you have an athletic build. It means most of your body weight is muscle and not fat. And I was like, yes. That's awesome.
We'll take it.
So now I don't care about the scale number because I was really hung up on that.
Well, see, that's the whole purpose behind that InBody is to show you that there's numbers and measurements more important than weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this goes way back with the technology. It used to be the calipers where they'd pinch you. And then we started getting into the BIA, which this is an advanced version. Bioimpedance analysis. We used to put the electrodes on the hands and feet. So we were doing those about 25 years ago at our events. But they give you a lot of data, right? So they tell you your weight, how much is that is muscle, which we like active tissue. So muscles, bones, and it also gives you hydration levels, right? Then it tells you body fat. That's what everyone goes to is the body fat. But interesting enough, why would hydration be important? Remember Dr. Bob would talk about the solution to pollution is dilution. So what will happen is people will hold fluid outside the cells because it's trying to dilute the toxins.
Right.
So if you're over 55% extracellular fluid, then you're toxic. So it breaks all these tissues down. But more excitingly, it gives you a summary of your chronological age, class of 86.
Okay.
And your actual age. So what was the actual age, Joe? Drum roll?
Yeah. The actual age is 41.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Whoa!
So,
41.
yeah.
Whoa!
So, yeah.
You're almost out of my
Whoa,
You're almost out of my dating range.
Almost.
So here's the crazy thing. Today is my oldest son's birthday. My older son
The
turns
41-year-old?
he's 31.
Oh.
So I told him he must have been a miracle birth at 10 for me. But yeah, so
Immaculate.
I turned 55 on Sunday and he turns 31 today. So to be told that your biological age is only 41, I was ecstatic.
Yes.
So,
It's the real
but
age.
how did that happen? Like I said,
Let's hear about it.
lifestyle, environment, making sure I'm taking the right supplements, making sure I watch what I eat, making sure that I exercise regularly, yoga, tennis, the meditation, like I said, meditation and prayer, doing all of the things that I know. And ultimately, doing a job where I feel like I am doing something that aligns me with my purpose, my mission, my vision, my values, that I'm in touch with my soul intelligence and making the world healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There isn't a better way to go. So I'm in full alignment and I love working
a lot of
here.
people talk the talk, mind, body, spirit.
Oh, you live
But they
it.
don't walk it. They don't live it. That's right. We got to live it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of
Well, you
people look at
showed
it as
us
a
how.
punishment. What our team is doing, right, with you being one of our leaders, is that we're practicing what we preach, right? Mind, body, and soul intelligence. You are the creator of the soul intelligence.
I am.
And people ask me all the time what that is. I try and explain it, but my delivery is not as good as yours. So
Okay.
can you explain what soul intelligence is? I know you have a whole group of people you're training and certifying this
Yes.
program and how people can get involved. So first, what is it?
Okay. What is it? Well, the easiest way to describe it is it's a bioenergetic method. Okay. So bioenergetics is a science that it's been around since the 1950s. And it talks about your emotional health in correlation to your physical health. So if you think about it, you go to the doctor, right? You're telling the doctor, what's
And you know what? When you go there, you're already upset.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're going to the doctor, okay, and all you're telling them is not only what physically is going wrong, but they're saying, well, what's going on in your life? What's happening, right? I remember going to my doctor and just being like, I think my adrenals are burnt out. Like I'm this plane hopping junkie running from, one end of the country to the other, being a corporate turnaround specialist, right? And it was really affecting my body. And so I needed to get on a protocol to get my stress levels down at that time.
Are they
But
down?
They're down now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm good now. I'm working on it. But the whole idea of bioenergetics is really the correlation between your physical health and your emotional health. And when we start talking about the reason why I call it soul intelligence is everybody understands IQ, right? Like our brains. Well, our brain has about a 2-foot wide energy field around it. Everybody knows EQ, right? Emotional intelligence. How you say what you say is often more important than what you say.
why did she look at you when she said that?
What's she looking at me? I couldn't tell.
All right. But your heart, according to the Heart Math Institute, they've measured it. The electromagnetic field around your heart is actually 6 foot wide. 6 foot wide. Oh, we weren't allowed to get closer to people than 6 feet.
Yeah, how about that?
We might have had. There might have been something to that, Joe.
I think the dark forces were at work. Yes, they were.
So when you think about that, that means your heart, is that much more powerful than the brain. And we tend to spend most of our time in our brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our conscious mind is only 5% running the show.
That's
95% of the time, it's your subconscious. Now, we all need the subconscious or we'd stop breathing when we're sleeping. But most of the time, what the subconscious responds to is emotion and trauma. And if we're not, focused on how do we shift that, right? It's hard. How do you control the subconscious mind with only 5% of your conscious mind? And that's where the soul intelligence method comes in. It's a way for me to figure out what's stuck in somebody's physical, mental, or emotional body.
So we can get beyond that 5%?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it allows me to go deep and to figure out what it is that's causing dis-ease within the body. Because everybody and everything is energy, right? We know this from like 4th grade science class. So when we talk about IQ, that's the spark, okay, in the electromagnetic field. But what magnifies something to you, what brings it in is emotion. And when emotion gets trapped or stuck in the body, that's when it causes dis-ease or disease within the body, right? A dissonance in your frequency, and you have to go to the doctor to go, what do I do? Like I was saying, if your back goes out, you want to come to the World of Wellness and see Dr. O or Dr. Phil, right? But what caused your back to go out? If you look at the energy,
it's not all physical, is it?
You look at the energetic root cause, it means you feel like your entire world has come out from underneath you. So was there a financial loss? Was there a death? Was there some traumatic experience you went through? And most of the time, if you talk to somebody whose back went out, that's exactly what occurred.
So you're talking about a trigger.
Absolutely.
And that trigger is not always, if hardly ever physical.
Look how happy he is. You've been talking about bioenergetics for 20 years, and now he's like, frequency medicine is the future.
It is.
That was 20 years ago, Joe.
I know. Yeah. That's good stuff. One of my favorite quotes was always, your emotions or your emotional well-being is the GPS to your life. Absolutely. It shows you how you're getting where you're going.
Absolutely.
And it could be multiple causes of this trauma, right? It's not always just one.
Right.
So there's a way that you have with your method to actually removing these obstacles or emotions that are trapped.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, I guess, like in its purest sense, it's like an advanced form of prayer, right? So I was telling, like, part of my healthy lifestyle is prayer. Prayer is asking, right? And meditation is like asking for what you want, and meditation is listening for the answers. So they work hand in hand, right? So the soul intelligence method is really like a very specific form of prayer. I'm asking for certain emotions to be released, certain patterns to be released, certain self-limiting beliefs to be released, right? So those are things that set in over time and can cloud the way you view the world.
And the power of prayer has always been there. It's powerful, but I think it got lost because it was just confined to whatever religion you happened to be in at that time, when it just goes way beyond that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and how I see it too is, people tend to pray for outside, right?
Yeah.
With this program, it goes inside, right?
Absolutely.
And that's a different way of living, because when it's inside of you, then that's what you do and who you are, compared to, hey, I'm getting pulled over, let me pray, right?
Yeah.
A friend of mine, not me.
Yeah, not you.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But no, people tend to pray for something external, right? And this is more about working internally. Right?
So when we talk about the environment, most of the time we think about our external environment, right? And managing the toxicity in our world. But when I talk about environment, I'm talking about the internal environment. And so Dr. Joe Dispenza, really famous neuroscientist, right? He talks about how your internal environment affects the proteins that your body makes and your gene expression. And he's done multiple experiments, okay?
Becoming Supernatural, wasn't that one of his books?
That was. But he's done multiple experiments that basically show how to upregulate a gene versus downregulating a gene. So like how to positively change what's going on internally. For example, they took a group of type 2 diabetics to a comedy show, and they had them laugh for an hour.
That is the best medicine, right?
Do we not love that?
If it's not first, it's second.
That is one of my favorite things to do to change the environment. Like, how much fun do we have during product development yesterday? All we did was laugh.
I others' expenses.
And others.
Okay, it could be at mine. So.
But it was awesome, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that what they did is they measured their gene expression before and after, and they could show that 20 different genes upregulated just from laughter. So I was talking about when I was talking about soul intelligence in the session prior, just how emotions, you can actually measure emotions and what they vibrate at from alpha, beta, theta, and delta waves. And emotions like fear and guilt and shame, and believe it or not, perfectionism, they're all at the bottom of the scale. Versus emotions like love and peace and joy, hence the laughter, are at the top of the scale.
Yeah, it's interesting. It reminds me of epigenetics, right, Joe?
That's it.
I was going to say, this is
That's it.
real
This is
epigenetics.
Joe Dispenza
It
Epigenetics.
goes, it connects everything, right? The old days, we would say of working out and eating well, it's not enough anymore.
It's not.
It's because of this world we live in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that, we connect all the trauma. It could be from food. It could be from the environment. It could be emotional. It could be a physical trauma. But when these aren't dealt with, people will not get fully healthy or recovered, right?
Right. That's really where the root cause of like all chronic illnesses, right? If you think about just common sense, repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is
insanity.
Amen. Okay. So when we talk about that in terms of our body, okay, what keeps a chronic illness locked in is it's telling the cells the same thing. It's experiencing the same emotion. That's why things like anxiety and depression are so dangerous, because it keeps our body locked in that state and not able to fully heal.
Right.
Right.
You got to stop telling the story of how it is and start telling the story of how you want it to be.
A forward thinker, my friend.
That is one of my favorite things, Joe. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. You're an expert at this now.
Uh-oh. There's a whole list of things I'm an expert at. Let's see if it's the list matches up.
See if it's aligned. Okay. So when you're trying to control, we talked about how 5% of your brain is conscious, the rest is subconscious. So how do you use 5% of your brain to reprogram your subconscious mind? The first thing you're going to do what I call positive brainwashing. Okay. So the first thing is you isolate the person. Now my fun conspiracy theorist buddy over here is going to love this one. So the first thing you do when you brainwash anybody, in case you're interested, is you isolate the person. You control the messaging. You repeat the messaging. And then you reward with fear or love. Does that remind you of anything?
Just the last 4 years. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's now 4 years. Yeah.
So the good news we can take out of that is, how do we do this for good? And how do we do this for ourselves? So isolate. Shut down all the distractions, right? You got to be able to get quiet and go within and find a peaceful place within your home.
Yeah, if you do one thing, I think people should shut off at least the news, if not the whole TV.
Yeah.
Now, Seinfeld, I don't find anything wrong with that, right? But, I always say watch a movie or show or a game.
Yeah, anything that brings you joy.
TV,
Yeah, anything that brings you
it's
joy.
not an activity.
Yeah, if it brings you joy, do it. If it doesn't, reconsider that. So first of all, get yourself some quiet time. So whether it's out in nature, a place in your home, but give yourself some time. So then control the messaging. What does that mean? So to your point, you want to write out all the things that you would like to do, but you write it from a perspective as if you already did it. You already achieved it. And the most important part is to do that with feeling. Because like I told you, the brain, that only has a 2 foot wide, the heart has a 6 foot wide, which is why you want to make sure it's filled with emotion. You can see who you're with. What are you doing? What are you experiencing? How do you feel? And you write it as if it's already happened. Then the next part is the repeating part. So the trick of this is, how do you make sure that you change the pattern? There's a pattern disrupt. You repeat it first thing every morning, or you visualize it, or you rewrite it in your journal, and you do it right at night before you go to bed, either visualizing it or rewriting it.
And isn't that exactly what they tried to do? News in the morning, news before you go to bed. All bad. Right?
Dang it.
We take a negative, we turn it into a positive.
And then you reward yourself. Like, when you actually, maybe you go out, if you see yourself living in a new place, you go out to that place and you experience what it's like. You go for a walk in that neighborhood, right? You actually give yourself an experience so that you start doing the things and bringing that in from the quantum field. So again, IQ is the spark, the electric part of the electromagnetic field. EQ is the emotion that brings it into you. That's what collapses the particle wave in the quantum field to bring it into you to manifest in the physical.
Then I have a question.
Oh boy, here we go.
How do you sustain it?
That is, you reward yourself as you start to see things change. And it's repeating, right? We're repeating it. We're reprogramming ourselves.
You're reinforcing, right?
Right. And then you reevaluate like where you want to go or what you do. And so after you've already, achieved that, there's always more. But wait, what's next? But wait, there's more. We came out with 6 new products in last 6 weeks. But wait, there's more. There's Liquid SPM, the world's first, right? The power of one more, Mr. Ed Milat.
Speaking of SPM, Joe, can I try one?
Oh, you want to try some SPM?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hardcore, so I'm just going to.
Here,
what do you want to take?
I'll let you administer.
Oh, good Lord.
Nurse Ratchet?
Oh, you've got to be kidding. Okay. Do you want to just chug out of the bottle? All right, you going to do it? All right.
Yeah.
You'll spill it on yourself. My God.
Tastes great. I love it. How many people does it take to feed me SPM?
Oh, my God.
3.
3 is the answer.
So you guys, the nurse and doctor have to come over in the morning and administer my SPM. The great thing about that is it's liquid. You can take it in the morning, just take it right down straight, keep it in the fridge, keeps it fresh.
So if I did put it in a shake, would it dilute it or would it still be effective?
No, it would just go right into the shake. You can put it right in here.
Okay.
So you can put anything. It's just sometimes, for me, I like the liquids just straight, and I usually take them first thing in the morning. I keep them in the fridge, keep them fresh, and you're done. That's a great one. And also the liquid fish oil is great to do that way. The vitamin D, liquid DMG, right? Sure. Get them done first thing in the morning. If you get the second dose at night, great. If not, at least you got the 1 dose in.
Yeah, and then the beauty of the liquid delivery is very simple. You're bypassing the digestive system. You don't have to break anything down to get to the good stuff. You're getting immediate delivery into the bloodstream.
Got it.
Yeah, so unlike the soft gel, which some people may like that because they don't want, the taste is great. We'll get some people with the oils because it's fat.
Right?
What's that?
The texture.
It's the texture. Yeah. It's a thick oil. So this one's actually thinner, I think, than like the fish oil. So sometimes the oils it's a thicker consistency, just like a salad dressing or an olive oil.
Right.
So most people, that's usually what gets them. It's not the flavor. They're expecting the flavor again, but then, it's an oil. Well, it is. So we still have the option of the soft gels or the liquids. I'm going with the liquid.
First in class, first in industry, first in the world. Liquid, specialized pro-resolving mediators.
Quite a few firsts in the last 2 months, right?
Yes, we have.
It seems like every week there's a new addition to what we're doing. So I love the SPMs. What about the chocolate greens? Have you tried those, Joe?
Oh my God!
Tried it. I mean, I'm going to turn into it. We've got it back in the juice machine. The people are going nuts over it. Everybody loves it because why? It tastes good. Tastes like chocolate.
It was so great. Last week, we were visiting a number of clients in the Tampa area. Like we've got a lot of clients in the state of Florida, and so we're visiting some of our key accounts there, and we wanted to bring them a whole host of our new products, right, to get their feedback, let them try them and experience them. So one of our practitioners, Dr. Jamie Mickey, I told her, look, at night, if you're getting like that chocolate craving, I did the chocolate greens. Here they are. Ta-da. And I did it because I was having I want some chocolate, but it was too late. I didn't want to actually have chocolate. I'm like, I'm going to do a proline green shake. And I did. And it just gave me that chocolate fix. And it's so good.
Did you do it hot or cold?
I did it cold. But what she did is she sent me a picture the next day or that evening, actually. She actually made a hot chocolate out of it.
Well, that's a great idea, Joe, because we had Rashid with us. And he used some hot water. So we had, it was like hot chocolate in Tampa.
He invented it and he didn't even know it.
Yeah. The timing was a little off, but it did taste like hot chocolate. So I think it's a great way. People smell it and they either say the Swiss Miss, right? Hot chocolate. Some people say better than Nestle's Quick. And then Mikey, I don't know where he's coming from, but he says Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll,
what?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which gave us an idea, didn't it?
It did give us a good idea.
Did. Stay
so
tuned.
You can do it with hot or a cold beverage. A lot of people are also fortifying their shakes, right? So maybe they want the vanilla shake. or they want the greens in there. It may not mix with certain flavors. Now you can do it right into chocolate shake or any flavors, right?
Absolutely. I'm surprised. I'm waiting for Rashid next to just take a spoonful and put it in his mouth.
Oh my gosh. I think
You don't even need the
Hold
water.
on. Here, I'll give you, the other night I was craving, just like you were, some chocolate. So I don't just want chocolate, I like chocolate peanut butter.
Uh-huh.
So I took a scoop of the Super Shake, each one, put it in a bowl, added some almond milk, mixed it up real good. And being I can't wait for the fridge, Joe, I put it in the freezer.
There you go.
So after about 10 minutes, I had chocolate peanut butter pudding. It was fantastic. It took the edge off. It tasted like a light ice cream, right? And it was fantastic. I got my protein in. I got a little treat in, and it was great. Joe DeFranco, I think he actually puts in some whipped cream and a couple other little things. But you can doctor it up a little bit, too, to meet your taste. But get creative with these. Have fun with these, right? It's not a punishment. The old health nut and, to be punished is over.
Yeah.
The new flavoring systems, the patented research, trademarked ingredients, all the different types of options now. You can really have fun with it, too, and make sure you're getting all your nutrients in.
So one of my favorite flavors is chocolate raspberry. So I think I'm going to do this with our raspberry GI Complete. And I think that together would be amazing. So I think I'm going to try that.
We're going to need a new recipe guide already.
I think so. Oh my gosh, we just did it. That's one of my responsibilities is overseeing marketing. So he's giving me more work is what's going on. But yeah, we're going to have to play with the new flavors. I definitely think.
Yeah, speaking of that, one of the favorite flavors at the events was my chocolate-covered strawberries. So frozen strawberries with the chocolate shake, and now we can even use the greens in there.
Wow.
People love it, especially, it was good like on a Sunday morning after the event. We're doing the brunch. People like that a lot, or Saturday for breakfast. So chocolate-covered strawberries. You can do many different types of flavors. I even use them once in a while if I want pancakes in the winter. You have that craving for a pancake, so you can make them that way. They're all in the recipe book. Where do they find the recipe book?
You can find it right at nutritionalfrontiers.com. That's simple. It's right on our website, every single recipe.
So I love the idea of utilizing the soul intelligence method, right? And you've been so generous doing yourself. But just like when Joe was a Pennsylvania state champion in martial arts, 4th degree black belt, he could only train and teach so many students.
Exactly.
So he started training trainers. So I know you're offering a new program, and congratulations. You're having your first graduating class.
I am very excited.
All right. So it's nice because now other people can utilize the program that maybe you weren't able to take any more appointments. So if somebody want to work with you, I think you're very limited, or one of your students or new graduates, how would they sign up or get in touch with you guys?
They can go to soulintelligencemethod.com to check it out, read about it, learn about it. But actually tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a free soul intelligence session. So anybody that's interested in doing that, Phil will put up the Zoom link and they can Zoom in and actually experience what the method's like
6
for
o'clock,
themselves.
folks. That's usually after hours, not for Kristine Glein. I'll tell you what, Joe. She never ends.
Yeah.
Well, I want to tell us a little bit more about the actual program to be certified.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there prerequisites? How long is it? And a little bit of the details.
Sure. Okay.
Details. Come on.
Details.
Come
You want
on,
some
come on.
details? Okay.
I'm not in the mood. Come on.
It's all online right now. So it's a self-study program. So you
That
can start
alone
at
is
any time.
fantastic. You can be anywhere, anytime.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. Because everybody and everything is energy, right?
Right.
I don't know how this internet thing works, but I know it's working,
Can
right?
you transfer the energy through the internet, like by Zoom?
You absolutely can.
Oh,
Actually, as a matter of fact,
That's
that's how
pretty wild.
that's how I've delivered most of my sessions. The way we do that, the course is like you could start at any time, and it's really self-paced at this point. I think you could get it done in about 4 months, like giving yourself enough time to practice, right? You have to do a certain number of different types of sessions, right? Sometimes you're doing a chakra clearing. Sometimes you're doing a physical clearing. Sometimes you're doing a relationship clearing, and they're all kind of different. Sometimes you're clearing a home, a space, a pet. Like there's all different things that you might shift for people. In terms of a qualification, you've got to learn to get comfortable trusting your intuition. And learning how to use a book of charts and a pendulum, right?
Okay.
But every week I offer a 1-hour coaching session that people can sign up for and come to and ask questions. I also have a Slack group, which is basically an instant message program where you get access to me and the other students in the class.
Okay.
So there's some community. In doing the sessions, you can practice with other students. You can do that with your family and things like that. So I'm training several different nurses, several different nurse practitioners, healers. I actually have one lady whose children are grown, and she decided, look, I want to make a difference in the world. And all my kids are grown. I don't know what I want to do. And so she's now doing the soul intelligence method and, having a session. I've got another coach who's added it to her practice. So I think it's, if you're interested in helping people get well, you're interested in energy medicine, you're interested in making a difference. It could be something to add to your current business or to give you a new modality.
It probably helps if you went through it yourself first, right?
That is usually the best place to start. Usually the best place to start.
I love the program, right? You can be a patient of yours, right? A client of any of your graduates. And then what program could you go out there, and get done in less than a year and be in practice and being paid to do it and helping so many people in such a short amount of time? And that's what Joe is getting into. So you don't need a science or any type of prerequisite like that. Right. Fantastic.
No, it's, I'm trying to share with you. It's kind of like the next Reiki. It's just really specific. Yeah. Like Reiki is just a general transference of energy.
Right.
And some medical intuitives will use that as a method. I know nurses have been trained in it. And this is really specific.
What a cool program. I love it. I'm actually a client of yours.
That's how this started.
Her favorite client, I think, right?
Absolutely.
That's what she tells everyone, Joe.
At the moment.
Are you a client of hers?
My whole family's a client.
Okay, well, good. That's why they're all smiling and laughing so much. So we're excited to share this program with so many people. Thank you for being so generous. And I think the really exciting part is training the other people, right?
Absolutely.
Getting people certified so that we can really share this with the masses, because this is what people need.
Absolutely.
Right? People are suffering more and more. People are not getting any healthier. And I think, the last few years has created a whole new level of stress that people were not able to handle or prepared for.
Right. I know that we're experiencing a mental health crisis in this country. Finding mental health care professionals right now, they're in high demand. You're getting appointments months out. And when somebody's suffering in that way, it's really challenging, right? To be told that it's got to be months out. So this is something that can actually help, right? That can actually help and give an immediate result. Like I've had people feel a transformation after just one session. Obviously, there's benefit to doing multiple. I kind of call it like an energetic massage. So as often as you might treat yourself to a massage.
Who doesn't want multiple massages, Joe?
So, once a month, twice a month. It's really up to you. Some people do it once a quarter. It just really depends on what's going on with your life, right? And what needs to shift, or what challenges are you experiencing, and what can we do energetically to try and support you? Right. And it doesn't mean it's one over the other. It's all integrated, right? So yes, you got to treat the body and give it what it needs so that it can help heal itself, just like you have to shift the emotions and the mental thoughts that you're having.
And I always say any type of great personal trainer or martial artist or soul intelligence trainer will do the session for the client, but teach them things that they can take on their own. Right?
Absolutely.
I know there's students of Joe's that still practice the methods that he taught them when they were kids, right? I incorporate a lot of your methods even when I'm doing it with you. People I would personal train, I said, my job is not to train you forever, but for you to be able to train yourself and then come back to me when your goals change or you have an injury or getting stale or want to learn something new. So that's the great thing about the program is they can take what you're teaching them on the first session and incorporate those things right away. Plus, she gives a lot of cool resources like the books and the podcast. So that's the part that I think is so generous of you, is that, it's a gift that keeps on giving. You can keep utilizing the program, looking at even got your newsletter today. So
yay, all right.
I always read them, and there's always a lot of good clinical pearls in there. So the Soul Intelligence Creator, what is your secret protocol other than your dreamsicle shake?
Oh my goodness.
Let's hear your protocol.
My protocols.
Well,
gosh.
maybe you can share your experience with blood pressure. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Why would I do that, Joe?
I don't know.
Okay, so
somebody must have helped
Huh.
you with it.
So I actually am coming up on my 1 year full-time anniversary, August 1st.
1 year, that's it?
1 year. It
Oh.
feels like forever. No.
And she's still here.
I made it. Woo. No, 1 year as the Chief Growth Officer. I've been affiliated with Jamie and the company for a couple of years, but full-time in this role. And so thinking about I forgot what I was going to tell you. My blood pressure. When I first started,
It skyrocketed.
Yeah, exactly. My stress levels, everything. No, I was on blood pressure medicine. So I took 20 milligrams of losartan. And I remember sitting around the table, we were doing a training, and Joe's like, "What do you want blood pressure medicine for? You need to get off that garbage." I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? So I started taking our 7 flowers, which are these teeny tiny little pellets. And I actually take 6 in the morning now and 6 at night.
And I'm glad you clarified that, because they're teeny little things.
Yeah.
6 is like one of something else.
Exactly. They're super tiny. I take 1 CoQ10 and 2 of our CircuCore every day. My blood pressure is stable. It's normal. I give blood on a regular basis. Roughly, I think it's every 6 weeks you're allowed to do that. And every time I go, my blood pressure is perfect. So I did kind of, get guilted or shamed, maybe, Joe,
just
into getting
just educated. That's it.
Into getting off blood pressure
there was no
medicine.
shame or guilt before.
Well, that's at the low part of the scale. I was like, oh gosh, I really need to do something different. So no, just learning, right? So this has really been a great education for me. So learning how the products work together, how you can support the body naturally and not have to be on the pharmaceuticals if you don't choose to. So that's just my heart regimen protocol now.
Well, one last one. You're very humble, of course, but she did win the Florida State Championship last year in tennis. And we've seen her in action, Joe. She's very aggressive on the tennis court, and she's
got to get the stress out somehow, right?
She's
Gotta get it
very
out somehow.
talented too. But I know tennis can be really stressful. You guys play on different surfaces, right? When you're in the French Open, it's clay, and
Goodness gracious!
When U.S., it's hard court, right, and grass. So I know you struggle with some joint issues over the years, the hip and the knees and stuff. But now, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. One of the things I do now, just preventative, right, is SPM. We just talked about it. But I also use our HA Plus and our X Flame, like for the joint health as well.
That's been the number one protocol at the Wellness Center for 10 plus years.
Yeah. And so they all help, I think, just from, trying to stay active and competitive, as an athlete at 55.
So, Joe, why would you do a bundle like that for everyone listening out there? Why not just one thing? What's the difference between the HA Plus, the X Flame, and the SPMs? How do they work synergistically together?
It's the difference between using a protocol as opposed to a product or an ingredient. The protocol, you address the entire situation, and you address the wear and tear and the deterioration of the ligaments and joints with HA Plus, because it has a patented form of collagen, it has glucosamine, it has MSM for healing power. So that's going to start to heal at the cellular level. And while that's happening, you want to relieve the pain and discomfort it was causing in the first place. That's where the X Flame comes in. So you get some pain relief and you allow it to heal. If you don't get the pain relief, you may not give it the time it needs. So that's why it works so well together.
Yeah, it's like if you have a fire, right? So God forbid you have a fire in your kitchen. If you don't put the fire out, you can't rebuild the kitchen, right? So the X Flame will cool down the fire, right? And then the HA Plus will actually rebuild. It's the material you would need to rebuild your cartilage, which is the cushion at the end of the bone, and then the tendons and ligaments that connect the muscle to bones and bones to bones.
Well, my favorite part about HA Plus is the collagen, because it's not just good for your joints, but it's good for those little fine lines around here. So there's a double benefit.
What lines?
Yeah, exactly. They're gone. They're gone. Maybe that's part of the 41.
I think we may have hit 40, Joe. When it starts with a 3, we're in trouble. Yeah. Well, of course, we know laughter is the best medicine. We're always having a good time here. Come on down. We're at World of Wellness. I know a lot of people are traveling right now, so we did extend the whole event going on throughout the month of July, Christmas in July, Wellness Week in July. So if you can't make it in, what can you do, Joe?
Give us a call, 412-922-9355. Place your order. We'll get it out to you as soon as possible. All the
What if
discounts
they're a little
apply.
more, into e-commerce? How can they
Ooh.
participate via the website? We have a new
We
website.
sure do. What is that website, Phil? Oh, wowpgh.com. WOWPGH.com.
So you can come in live, you can call us, or you can go right to the website. We can ship the products anywhere in the U.S. And we have the event going on all week. So you want to come down and join us for some free smoothies, a sample of the chocolate greens. It's in the machine.
It's in the machine.
So you can try
Made
that
the
out.
machine.
Got the SPMs, any smoothie you want. Plus, we have some testing. I was walking by the room over there before. The cloud therapy, people are really relaxing. So what's the cloud therapy, Joe?
Well, the cloud therapy is a beautiful thing. It's a mat with it's called PEMF, pulse electromagnetic field. That's again energy, right? Pure energy. And when you lay on this mat, that energy will then open up the blood flow in your body, open up the capillaries. And once you have better blood flow, everything else works better. So it's basic, it's cellular, but it's quick
And it's actually
and
and
fast.
fast. It's actually able to open up the cells.
Open up the blood, open up the capillaries and allow the blood to flow freely.
Well, I know a lot of people are used to the beamer. The same
Yes.
doctor that invented the beamer invented this now, the
Next
cloud.
level, right?
And we actually have Dr. Jennifer Kabik coming in this weekend to give us a little more of the background and some of the science behind it. It's pretty cool. So come on down. We're here all week. If you need directions, give us a call. We're at 2419 Baldwick Road, right in the heart of Pittsburgh, PA. So thanks for all the support. Any parting shots?
Yeah, if you're interested in trying the Soul Intelligence Method, join us tonight at 6 p.m. On the Zoom, and Phil will be putting the link below in the chat. The link is in the chat.
And how about yourself, Joe, as you continue in this new form of retirement? Retired from what? We're not sure.
We always say, yeah.
So any parting shots for all the people out
I
there?
know that gratitude is a big part of soul intelligence.
Absolutely.
So find something to feel grateful for and keep that attitude of gratitude. And then we all guarantee you will live long and prosper.
Well, I'm grateful for all the people, especially these two sitting right next to me. And your attitude determines your altitude. So you want to soar high like we are?
Ooh.
Got to change the attitude. So come on down, folks. We see everyone this week. Have a great